Hello and welcome to the Critical Twits, where today we visit Malifaux and ask, who's the best doggo? Hello and welcome once again to the Critical Twits. I'm Brian Ennis.
I'm Aaron Mitsky.
And today we're going to be talking Malifaux. Again.
Yes.
Yes. And we're going to be asking, who's the best dog in Malifaux? Who's the best dog? Who's the best dog?
I am.
You are the best dog, Aaron.
Yay.
So this is an episode that's all about the glorious hounds of Malifaux.
Yes.
That should have been mutts of Malifaux, shouldn't it?
No, it should be hounds. They are listed as hounds.
Yeah, they are hounds. Yes, they have that subtype.
Yeah.
So we decided that, not being experts in canines ourselves, we would consult the Weird Place Facebook group.
Yes.
And we would consult the weird forums to get a general community consensus.
Research.
And we will count down the top 5 later on in the podcast. But first, in any exercise of democracy, there must be rules.
Yes.
Set by the previous holders of democracy in order to maintain that democracy for themselves. Oh, that's real life politics, isn't it?
Yeah.
Sorry, dude. My cynicism always makes everyone sad. So, there are lots of models, as you say, in Malifaux that are hounds.
Yeah.
They are obviously automatically included.
Yes.
We also decided to include anything that is a canid.
Yeah.
What is a canid, Aaron?
It is Latin for... Is it dog family?
Yeah, it's kind of like the wider dog family.
Yeah, the dog genome, essentially.
Yes. So that includes undead versions.
Yes, still got most of the genes.
Yeah, as far as I was concerned, they counted. It includes wolves.
Yeah.
And where versions they're in.
Ooh.
And it also includes some of the more unusual choices that we'll come to later.
Yes.
Yes. I was really excited to do this, actually.
Yeah.
Mostly because it was my idea. And it seemed like it could be a bit of fun. Yeah. And actually, it kicked off a little bit of debate. People were chatting about it. People were interested.
Yeah, I was going to say, it was nice to see that excitement brewing and people putting their arguments for why they thought they was the best dog. But nobody putting other doggos down, which is always good.
Yes. Yeah, it was very positive, actually. I think there's some dog fans out there in the Malifaux community.
Yeah.
No one said that cats were better than dogs.
Which is, yeah.
I mean, it wasn't an option on a poll. But, you know, it is the truth.
Yeah, to be fair.
I've made it. We are. Would you say you're a cat person or a dog person, Aaron?
Oh, see, I'm just really dull, middle-of-the-road human being, so I don't like picking sides, but, you know, I am a cat person.
I was going to say, I thought you were going to say you're a people person, and I was going to spray spittle in your face. It wasn't not from laughing, just going to gob on you.
So it's come from a person, I like it.
Yeah, so yeah, I would consider myself a cat person, but only because I'm too lazy to properly look after and maintain a dog. They need a lot of affection, a lot of love, but also walking in the outside world. And that's quite a lot of effort.
It is, yeah.
I mean, you could get one of those small yappy type dogs, as Eddie Izzard categorised them in the 90s, small yappy type dogs. That don't need much walking, but then you would also have to bear the eternal shame of owning a small yappy type dog.
Yeah.
A dog that's smaller than a cat is not a dog, as far as I'm concerned. It's a genetic aberration and should be flushed down the toilet.
Which would be quite easy, because they're small.
Yes! I feel really mean now. And I will tell a story about a small yappy type dog I do like later, just to balance things out.
All right then,
yeah, so the field. We need to talk about the field, not a literal field, but the field of dogs what entered this race.
Oh, okay, yeah, because I was going to say, I mean, I know dogs love a field. We're trying to get them excited.
They do love a field. I once lost a dog in a field, couldn't find it. It was in the grass.
Is that a yappy dog?
No, it was a fucking old English sheepdog. It's enormous.
They're built to be seen outside of grass. Impressive, well done.
Yeah. Story doesn't really go anywhere, but it's true, and that's what matters in today's fake news age. So there's kind of like a whole subset of doggos that I feel we'll discuss first. Because dogs are known as man's best friend. I mean, a woman's best friend is generally another woman because they're not as emotionally stunted as men and are capable of loving other human beings rather than a reflection of themselves that uncritically reflects their own insecurities back to them. I'm shitting on the idea of dogs now, aren't I? It's a bit sad, isn't it?
No, you're shitting on the idea of dog owners. It's fine.
Yeah, but I've been a dog owner.
Yes, I've yeah.
And I wouldn't mind being a dog owner again in the future, and we'll discuss that in a bit. But yeah, so there's totems. So your master, your leader, has a totem, their own special thing that is their bestest buddy.
Yes.
And there are 5 totems that I would class as dogs. There is Luna, McCabe's totem, or Iggy Pup, the Nightmare Edition.
Oh, yeah.
I love the name Iggy Pup.
Yeah, it's awesome. I like the model for Iggy Pup as well, actually.
Yeah, it's a good model. Hasn't got a t-shirt on, just like Iggy Pop. You've got Penelope.
Yes.
Ulix's totem.
Yeah.
And his faithful pig wrangler. You have Nix, Hamlin's undead dog companion.
Oh yeah.
You have the zombie Chihuahua. Chihuahua.
Mexican dog breed I can't spell. Yes.
Chihuahua. Zombie Chihuahua. The impossible to spell zombie Chihuahua. I used to, when I was an English teacher, when I do spelling tests, I always get them to spell Chihuahua.
You bastard.
Yeah. Because I, mostly entertaining myself in that job because the kids weren't listening. And we also had the zombie Chihuahua, obviously belonging to Morning.
Yeah.
And then we have, who's that woman you play?
Misaki.
Misaki.
Yes,
yeah.
With
Misaki has
Shang.
Now, Shang caused some controversy. Shang is a kitsune.
Yes.
Which is a magical fox. And the foxes, although vulpes in Latin family terms, that is part of the wider canid family.
Yes,
so
it's
we
a sub-part of the canid.
Yeah, we included Shang. You then have your, what I call basic doggo. So a bit like a basic bitch, but also that's only the female ones and we wanted to be inclusive.
Yes.
So basic doggo includes the male doggos, which are your guild hounds, standard doggo.
Yeah.
You have canine remains, so poor sad dead doggo.
Yeah.
And you have corrupted hounds, sexy doggos. Is that how they've been corrupted?
I think so.
Yeah, cool. Who are guild, Reza, and Neverborn in that order, and never in any other. We also then decided wolves were okay, and werewolves. So you have the Rougarou, who are based on the legends of the Skinwalkers from Native American folklore. Again, another Neverborn model. And we had Ferdinand Vogel.
What?
Did you not find... So me and Aaron looked at these independently and then I just soldiered on and did the list. Did you not know I was going to include Ferdinand Vogel?
No.
So Ferdinand Vogel is a man in a hat, and a very nice hat it is too.
True.
And then when he gets annoyed, or when you flip a card, either or,
in my case,
he turns into the beast within.
Oh, okay.
Which is a giant werewolf with a fancy hat. And a very nice hat it is too.
Fair enough. Yeah. Right.
So Ferdinand Vogel was in. Because if you're going to include the Rougarou, you have to include Ferdinand Vogel. Oh, yeah. Then we had the 10 Thunders coming in a really confusing manner.
Yeah.
With the Tanuki.
Yeah.
Who are known as raccoon dogs.
Yes, they are, yeah.
But the raccoon dog is in the dog family, not the raccoon family.
Yeah.
So technically as a dog.
Yeah.
And then we had the Kamainu, which was suggested by someone on the forum. The Kamainu are the big lions that guard the temples.
Yes.
But they're known as the lion dog. And apparently in the fluff, they're implied to be dogs, not lions.
Oh, okay.
I did not bother to read the fluff to check it. I'm taking them at face value. I've been hurt before, please don't lie to me. So that's kind of our field. A fair 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 entrants to the field.
It's a busy and very poo-ridden field now.
Yeah. We had a couple other late entrants, which we'll come to in a minute. We did disqualify 2 possible entrants that were suggested. So we have the Boltungin, who are were hyenas.
Oh, yeah.
Now, I had to check this on Wikipedia.
Mm-hmm.
So if this is wrong, please blame Wikipedia and not myself. That would be, I don't want to accept any blame for my own actions. I'm a millennial. It's not what we do. It's society's fault, mate.
Yeah.
Right? Not enough avocado toast. Hyenas are more closely related to cats than they are to dogs, apparently, and are not part of the canid family.
Yes.
So, a no on the were hyenas.
Mm-hmm.
And we also had, on the Weird Place forum, Samantha asked, are hunters, so the guild's hunters, are they dogs or are they cats? And I disqualified them because I think you'll find, mate, they're robots. Good try, but they're made of metal and they are constructs. They are neither cat nor dog.
They're just made to look like one or the other.
But good catch, because I hadn't even considered them till they were mentioned, and had to make a decision. Yes.
Yeah.
That was good.
Yeah.
And then finally, the two very late entrants were that one suspicious alley cat in the Nightmare Hamlin edition that's cats instead of rats.
Yeah.
And I was like, what are you talking about? And I had a look. And one of the cats, so instead of a rat, you have a little cat on a model. Yeah. One of the cats is a chihuahua with a headband and some ears on.
Yeah. On about that.
Which is amazing. So that was entered into the field late.
Yeah.
And then finally, thank you very much to a couple people, but first of all to Igor on a Weird Place for Mad Dog Bracket. That's the kind of out of the box thinking we like on the Critical Twits gaming podcast. So he is a dog. Mad Dog Bracket, Mad Dog, good dog. So we entered him into the field as well for a total of 14 runners. Sound good?
Yeah.
Cool, I'm glad you're coming with me on this, Aaron.
Dog Bracket.
Mad Dog Bracket, yep. He is the first dog to also be useful at holding up shelves. I'm not really sure where I was going with that. You can enclose him around parenthetical information. Yeah, okay. So, before we get into our top picks that didn't make it into the top 5, I thought we'd play a little game.
Ooh.
Aaron.
Yes.
If you could own any dog, what dog would you own?
This is such a fad response, and I'm so sorry for this.
Are you going to say pug?
Oh, fuck no.
Okay.
No, you should not own pugs. The poor bastards suffer. Let the species die out. Don't kill them, but let the species die out so they don't suffer anymore, you ignorant.
Oh, Jesus. That was...
Seriously, I've seen some horrible stuff happen with these dogs. So
yeah. Did I tell you about the time I saw a pregnant pug sneeze its own eyeball out of its face?
Jesus, yeah.
That is literally the story. I saw a pregnant pug sneeze its own eyeball out of its face.
Yeah. They are lovely dogs.
They're lovely, they're nice, they're sweet-natured, but they're so sort of inbred that they're, absolutely incapable of leading a normal life, much like the royal family of Great Britain, United Kingdom and Northern Ireland. To give them their full title, the Windsors.
Yes.
They've just had a puppy.
That's now become the Photoshop image on the front of this.
Oh, fuck.
Okay, yeah, no, right. No, it's a different fad. And this one is a crossbreed, so it's okay.
Oh, an angry dog.
Yes. I really want a husky wolf mix.
Oh.
They're huge and fluffy and potentially dangerous, but I love the look of them.
You are preempting one of my responses for a thing we're going to do in a minute. Yeah, why? Why would you want one? I like their eyes.
Yeah, it is their eyes.
Although, you know, when you get, because they've either got really dark eyes or really bright eyes, and a lot of them have got is it heterochromatic eyes, where they've got one eye that's dark and one eye that's white, and all I can think of when I see that is Antichrist Superstar era Marilyn Manson.
That might actually be what sold me on them.
I just expect him to start, you know, beautiful doggos, and just, I'm not sure I could take them seriously, or I'd have to dress them up in leather pants.
Sold even more. I really want them now. Yeah, no, it's just because they're large dogs. They are wolves without being wild.
Yeah.
And, you know, I've always wanted a wolf companion.
Yeah.
I was a sad, lonely child and wanted to be part of a pack.
Have you ever played a druid in Dungeons and Dragons?
I've not.
Or Pathfinder, or various variants thereof?
No, because druids always seemed like a daft class.
But they get a dog.
They do get a dog.
They get a wolf. They can have a wolf.
The first time I played World of Warcraft, I played a hunter, which was the druidish class in there, that got a pet.
Cool.
And instantly went for the wolf. Yeah. That's what I wanted.
I massively mock your lack of imagination because obviously if you could have any dog, I'd have a magic dog that could shoot lasers out of its eyes.
All right, yeah, that does trump me.
Yeah. Cool.
But do you want it shooting lasers out of its eyes? I mean, they like looking at you a lot. What if it accidentally shoots a laser and just blinds you?
I'd train it to be a good doggo. Or I'd get it some Cyclops glasses from X-Men.
Yes.
Yeah.
What sort of magic is this dog? Does it just sort of emit sort of sparkles out of its arse, or are we talking it can grant wishes?
I think it's the kind of magic.
Just bones, because that's all it wants.
I think the lasers out of its eyes might be the magic. Or science gone very wrong. I think if you were to cast a detect magic spell, it would glow. I think that's the kind of magic I'm looking for.
Glowing dog, yeah, I can see the uses in that. If you need to walk it at night, you don't have to wear all that high-vis bullshit.
Yeah, or it could do like some proper Darren Brown mind tricks. Like memorise a bunch of stuff, and you'd go to its food bowl, and there'd be something that you wanted. Like your car keys would be there. And you'd be like, oh yeah, shit, I forgot I've got a car. You know, that kind of thing.
And whenever you enter the house, you're instantaneously going towards the snacks because it's put little clues around the house to remind you that you want snacks.
Yeah. Cool. I was genuinely going to say a husky, and you preempted me, so I had to make up a load of stuff.
Yes, I picked a different breed. It wasn't just a husky.
I would like a husky.
Because a wolf-husky mix is huge.
Yeah.
And I want a dog that's bigger than me.
Okay, so back to Malifaux. Honourable mentions then that didn't make it into the top 5. Shang. Now, Shang was chosen on the weird forums by the gloriously named Dr. Mittens. And I think it's really nice that a cat could bring themselves to vote in a poll about dogs. Yeah. And Dr. Mittens said that Shang is obviously the best doggo because Shang sacrifices his life for his owner.
Yes, yeah. I don't know if there is any other dog ones that will literally die in order to make their master live.
Yes.
It's glorious and sweet and sad.
Shang can keep Mizaki alive.
Yes.
That's nice, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. And gives her extra stuff as well. It brings her extra cards.
Yes.
Takes one away.
Rush of magic.
Yeah.
For a thing that's made of fire, doesn't actually set anyone on fire.
Nope.
But is immune to being set on fire.
Is immune to being set on fire. And it does blast at maximum damage for a total of 3.
Yeah, some blasts.
But you're not putting it into combat.
No.
It's not really got any other uses other than a healing kit, essentially. Which makes it even sadder because it's such a good dog that it will do its one thing really, really well, nothing else. Yeah,
there's quite a lot of fire-based totems kicking about. There's the Purifying Flame, there's the Emberling, and there's Shang. Maybe they want to, be more original. So yeah, I was sad to see Shang there, especially after, the angry debate that we had about foxes are dogs and is a dog a fox, and, Fox's Glacier Mint. Is that a dog with a bear on it, or a bear on a dog, or...
God.
It's hard, isn't it? It's hard to think sometimes when I'm talking. Honourable mention to Shang, and then something I actually did expect to place a lot higher were the Rougarou.
Yeah, to be honest, yeah.
As Hargrim aptly summoned up on the Weird Place forum, on the Weird forum, they are pouncing undead Fey murder puppies. All good words.
Yes.
All of them good words.
Yeah.
Yeah. they're quite tough. I think the reason people don't necessarily respect them as much in the game is they are quite expensive to hire. I think they're 7 soul stones. No, they're 8 soul stones. I thought they were expensive at 7.
Yeah.
They've got quite a lot of wounds. They're hard to kill.
To be honest.
They do all sorts of bits and pieces.
They've got a melee 6 attack, which is also nice.
It's not bad. 246 damage.
It's range 2, which a lot of the hounds are range 1.
Yeah, because they've got little neck dogs mostly.
Yeah.
If this was a podcast about giraffes, we'd have a much bigger range.
Why is there no giraffes in Malifaux?
It's not very inclusive, is it?
No.
I actually quite like the idea of using them with some kind of Pandora list because they can make all enemy models within 4 pulse take a willpower draw or be pushed into base contact with this model.
Yeah.
And if they get pushed, it gets to hit them. So it calls them over and bites them all.
Yeah.
And they'll take damage if they fail the willpower draws because of Pandora. But I have been told that playing Pandora is really mean and I should probably stop.
I'd like to also say,
yeah. We will probably talk about Pandora in more detail in a future episode.
Yes.
But she's kind of known as a negative play experience kind of master that's like, oh, God.
Yeah, can be, definitely.
Yeah, and that's why I will play her and only her forever. Or not.
Desperately try not to just slur loads of rude names now.
I
think that's.
I think there may be. I don't know. Neverborn stuff isn't very survivable. They do have hard to kill, and they can heal a bit.
Yeah.
But don't know. Maybe it's just our meta. I don't really see them being discussed.
No, not particularly. It might be the height that does them out as well.
Yeah.
I mean, it does make the 4-inch pulse better because they're on a bigger base.
Yeah.
But it also means they're easier to hit over things and stuff like that. So they tend to become the target of everything that is going on.
Yeah, I think the Neverborn masters that are really good tend to come with their own theme. Like Dreamer's very good, but he's got nightmares, and that's much better. And that's what he'll be summoning. And you've got Kolodi, who uses puppets.
Yeah.
And Zoraida maybe is kind of considered quite good.
Yeah.
But has her own swamp theme and also basically hires all the low willpower stuff from other factions to do weird stuff with. Yeah. So maybe they're just getting a bit overlooked.
Could be, yeah.
But I want to get some to go with Titania, Titanium, whatever her name is.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think they'll be good.
Yeah.
Anything you'd like to honourably mention? Anything you'd like to shout out to?
I don't think there is, to be honest. Like outside the top row, the other dogs are the good dogs. Yeah. You can't put down the dogs. But
I would say that Ferdinand Vogel.
Oh, yeah, I suppose, because I'm completely forgetting Ferdinand Vogel.
As a werewolf, I really like the idea of summoning in the werewolf and then going back into him and changing things about. I like that as an idea.
Yeah.
Dreamer does it already.
Yeah, so it's nice to have more that does it.
The podcat's upset.
Sorry, we're talking about cats. We're sorry.
We'll do an episode on you one day. Yes, we will. Yeah, Ferdinand Vogel. I like the idea. I don't think he's been out particularly long, if he's out at all. I've not seen him, but we do live in the UK where we just get the models when we get them.
Yeah.
And just kind of have to make do. Yeah. He doesn't have that diddling around that the Dreamer does to try and summon Chompy. He just goes, right, it's my go. I'm gonna turn into a werewolf. I'll just discard a card.
Yeah.
I also like that he has a fancy cane. It's quite nice, isn't it? Like an upper class Michael. That was bad. Did you ever play Saints Row?
Yeah.
Did you ever get the pimp cane in that?
Yes.
That's a shotgun and then you can knock people flying with it.
Yeah.
What a mature game. Yeah, he can do all sorts of different bits and pieces, and he turns into the Beast Within, who bizarrely is an enforcer when Ferdinand is a minion. What I want to do with him is he's a mimic. so I can hire him in a Lucius crew.
Ooh.
Which I'm going to do.
Yes, that'd be interesting.
So there you go. So I have my guild with doppelgangers, changelings, and a werewolf.
Yeah.
Because why not?
Yeah.
And witchling thralls, because they're the best.
Big thralls. Yeah.
Yes. So that's our honourable mentions then, those 3.
Yeah.
So they didn't make it into the top 5.
It means they're not any less of a good doggo.
No. And this is important to remember before we start counting down the top 5. We were told repeatedly that all doggos are good doggos, all papas are good papas, and as Gavin said on Weird Place, all dogs are the best dogs. And we are not trying to imply that any dog is actually better than any other dog, and all these dogs can feel proud of themselves. Apart from the corrupted hounds, who are dirty, dirty slags.
But they're proud of themselves for it, so it's fine.
Yes. So, before we move on to the top 5, Aaron,
okay,
I have another game for us.
Ooh, more games.
Unless you want to tell a story about a dog.
I can tell you a story of a bad doggo.
Okay, so yeah, let's talk about bad doggos.
So,
I've got a story about a bad doggo.
Ooh.
2 stories about bad doggos.
Ooh.
Have you only got 1?
I might have 2.
Okay, I was going to say we can alternate. Yeah, cool.
So, it took me and wife of Twit 2 years to save up to go on our honeymoon because we were thinking of emigrating to Canada. So we decided to save up a big bunch of money.
There's a lot of that about, actually. I've got a friend who's moving to Canada, and I, for a giggle the other day, checked to see if I was eligible.
Yeah.
And I was, and I was like, why am I not going? And I had a bit of a crisis.
Yeah.
What was all that about, eh?
See, you're fitting perfect.
Exactly.
You're fine. So we saved loads of money, went to Vancouver, because that was kind of the region we were looking at. Not necessarily Vancouver itself, because we thought, it's basically a larger, but it's also got a much smaller population, but it's London-ish. Sort of
yeah, it's very expensive to live in Vancouver.
Not when compared to here. It is expensive when compared with when you got Canadian wages, but, we'd have money with us, hopefully, at that point. Yeah. But, so we were wandering around there, and we decided one of the places we were staying to have this big wander around the back of sort of big housing estate next to one of the rivers that was coming off the sea.
Okay, that's generally where they come off, yeah?
It is, yes, and the sea is very close to Vancouver, so so we're wandering down this glorious sunny day, it's wonderful, we had this sort of basically like 8-mile hike going along there. There's plenty of people cycling and walking down. It's lovely, and everybody saying hello. It was like
really
quintessential what you'd imagine Canada to be at that moment.
Fucking hell! Was someone sucking the fluid out of a tree?
They may have been.
Fuck. That sounds lovely.
Yeah. But it was glorious. And then this woman came past with a little Shih Tzu, who was being a bit of a little shit.
Sorry, mate. I got the joke before you said it.
Yeah.
It's very postmodern of you.
Who was sort of pulling on the lead a little bit. But, little dogs do that. They're excited to go places and stuff.
Yeah.
So I walked past about thinking of world and world, and then it suddenly turned from this happy, yappy dog to the most aggressive thing in the world and bit me in the arse.
In the arse?
Yes.
Were you squatting at the time?
No, it leapt up. I mean, I'm not a tall man. My arse doesn't hang very low. It properly leapt. And
less so in those days. It was a while ago.
Yeah. Clamped onto my left cheek and let go. She panicked me, like, I'm sorry, and then ran off before I had any idea what was going on. I'm like, it really hurts. I don't know if I should get, tested or stitched up. I think I'm not sure if I'm even bleeding or anything.
I remember every time I went on holiday as a kid to anywhere outside of the UK, my dad would be like, don't touch the dogs, you'll get rabies.
Yeah.
And if you get rabies, they have to inject you through your belly button.
Nearly enough.
Yeah.
Injections around the sides of your
stomach. Yeah. And I was just scared of any kind of foreign wildlife. Yes. So if I saw a cat in a beret, or a monkey in a fez, I'd just fucking run away.
It's always the safest bet.
Yeah.
Never trust an animal in a hat.
No.
Which one? Ferdinand didn't win. So I'm panicking that I've got some kind of serious injury. My jeans don't appear to be split, but it hurts a lot.
Yeah.
So I go to find what is essentially the nearest bush, because like I said, there's a housing estate onto one side of me. And a river where there doesn't seem to be, there's lots of yachts and boats and stuff on it, but nobody seemed to be there at the time. So it was like quick. I just seen a bush that's facing the river. So I panically ran over there and essentially dropped my trousers, felt around my arse to see if there's any blood there, and then had to ask wife with Twit to look at my arse to check for it. It was at that point a large commercial yacht decided to trundle past with about 3 families on it who were clearly on some kind of tour. I'm pretty sure 2 of them started taking pictures of me just panically staring backwards, looking at my backside.
Are you sure you've not got confused and mistaken your own life for an episode of Mr. Bean?
No, I've got marks to prove it.
Are you going to show me the scar later?
If you really want me to.
Oh, definitely, always. So my story of a bad doggo. We used to have an old English sheepdog when I was growing up, whose name was originally Angel.
Oh.
Angel, when we adopted her from the Old English Sheepdog Rescue Centre.
There's a specific centre.
There is a specific centre for the rescue of Old English sheepdogs.
I suppose what's past working age there?
Well, this is the thing. Most Old English sheepdogs are kept as pets, not as actual working dogs.
Oh, okay.
There's very few actual working Old English sheepdogs, and there was a big craze, late 80s, early to mid-90s, for Old English sheepdogs because they were used in the Dulux adverts as the Dulux dog, which is not like a normal dog but with extra collectible add-ons. It was Dulux as in the paint itself was Dulux with no E.
Yes.
Yeah. Dulux, that says. That does not say Dulux.
Good white paint.
Did you ever see the Hale and Pace sketch where they were saying paint the walls with Dulux, and they had an Old English sheepdog on a stick and they were using it as the roller?
Yeah.
Good times. So yeah, we had an Old English sheepdog, so we changed its name to Angie, like a person's name. I love a pet with a person's name.
Yes.
But my cat is called Sean.
Yeah.
I used to have a bearded dragon called Allegra, and a mouse called Steve.
Steve's actually quite a good name for a mouse.
It's a good name for a mouse.
Steve, like a mouse.
Steve! You're mocking him, mate.
I'm a bit mousist, sorry.
Oh, God. Is that a Chinese communist? It's a Maoist, isn't it?
Maoist, yeah.
Cool.
Yes, anyway.
So being an Old English sheepdog, obviously years and years of built-in instincts and kind of selective breeding for certain character traits.
Yeah.
So when I was like 8, and I look back at this and think this is really weird, but like when I was about 8, 9, 10, maybe a little bit older, my mum would make the dog sit and wait, and Angie would sit and wait, and then I would run off across the park or the field, and the dog would get really excited. And then when my mum went, go, the dog would run after me, catch me, run round me, barking at me, and then get really and try and lead me back to where I should be. Yeah. So it would herd me.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's a little bit weird.
A little bit.
So one day we're heading just off of where we used to live. There's a nice park, but if you went right on the park, you go down a big long path, and then you actually be out into the countryside. And so we decided to take the dog for a walk around the countryside bit. Lovely summer's day. So we're like 10 minutes down the path. I run off down the path, surrounded by like blackberry bushes and 5 teenagers who should know better drinking ice cream, eating ice cream with a dog of their own.
Yeah.
One of them was a tomboy. It's Famous Five reference. No one's going to get that. No. Very, very sort of countryside. There's this long path, and the dog goes running up it, runs round me, and then runs back to my mum for about 200, 300 yards in a straight line. Now, Dulux dogs are quite big. They're quite heavy.
Yeah.
They're slightly bigger than an Alsatian.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Big, bulky, muscly dogs as well. They're broader, definitely.
Yeah.
They're not very good at stopping, Aaron. So the dog ran into my mother, knocked her flying, and pushed her kneecap around to the back of her leg.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah. And then, freaked out.
Yeah.
Started barking and whining. and like trying to lick it better, which did not help.
No.
My mum's like crying out in agony, and I'm 200 yards down the road and 9 years old, and had to leave my mum lying on a path while I went back to the park that was further down, and luckily someone was there, and they went and they called an ambulance, and then they had to pick my mum up and carry her on a stretcher all the way back to over the bumpy park, because it was more like wasteland, and into an ambulance.
Yeah,
bad dog.
Bad dog.
On the plus side, the dogs did seem upset about it.
Yeah.
Shall we return to our top 5?
Oh, I think we should.
In at number 5 then, and I am so happy to see this at number 5. It made my day.
Yeah.
It makes me love the Malifaux community. At number 5, the 5th best doggo is Mad Dog Bracket.
Brilliant.
So, in the words of John from A Weird Place, he said he'd vote for Mad Dog Bracket as he is mad and his melee attack is a cigar with wicked triggers. Yeah. Let's just dissect that comment for a second.
Okay.
If you're going to vote for someone because they're mad, you will end up with Trump, Boris Johnson, Brexit, Putin, or wasting your vote on the Liberal Democrats.
Yes.
Not a good idea to vote for something just because they're mad. I would not like to condone such reckless behaviour. But the cigar with wicked triggers is very, 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 very good.
Yeah, it is.
I really like Mad Dog.
Yeah.
I played an entire... It wasn't like a tournament with like a million people. It was just a tournament amongst ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
And friend of podcast, Chris, said, you should play Parker. You should play a master you've never played. Here's Parker, play Parker. And Mad Dog won me 2 games.
Mm.
I think he's criminally overlooked.
Yeah, definitely.
He's not super survivable.
No.
But his goodness, his good doggo-ness comes down to a couple things. The first one is the fact that he can take away cover from enemies by dropping blow it to hell markers, which anything within 3 inches of the marker does not gain the benefit of cover when targeted by shoot actions. Now, he himself has a good shoot action, and he's generally in a crew of Parker's bandits who all have lots of cool guns.
Yeah.
And there's some really good shooting outcast models to go with Mad Dog Bracket, like Lazarus, for instance.
Yeah.
I think he's very good. Not everyone agrees, but I think he's very good. So I quite like that.
Yeah.
He has a shotgun to back it up.
Yeah.
With blasts, because that's how shotguns work.
Yep.
He is bulletproof, which never comes up. When he's been hurt, he does better, which is nice.
Doesn't further he has rabies, but it doesn't mean a rabid dog doesn't necessarily mean he's not a good dog at heart.
Actually, there's 3 things that make him good. The life of crime ability, I really like.
Mm-hmm.
So. At the end of the game, all enemy scheme markers within 2 inches count as friendly scheme markers for the purposes of strategies and schemes. I won a game against Colin and his Seamus crew with the very last action of the game, walking twice, standing next to some of his stuff that was within 6 inches of the middle of the board, and Colin going, I'm going to get 3 points. And I went, no, you're not. You're going to get 1 because they're mine. Suck my dick, you hobbit man. I may have actually genuinely said that.
Yeah.
I'm not proud of it. But misogyny flows from my lips when I am unmanned. In the words of Shakespeare. So that's really good.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Very situational, probably not worth actually sort of messing around with.
It's not putting your whole strategy around.
He's probably dead by that point in the game anyway.
But it's a nice kick in the teeth at the end of a game if it does work.
Yes, and what I like is his burning cigar, his melee attack, 1 inch range, melee 6, as you say, it's a good melee.
Yeah.
Maybe fairly standard for a henchman, maybe.
Yeah.
But he does have a shoot 6 gun as well.
Yeah.
So that's good, which he can rapid fire with.
Mm-hmm.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
But yeah, the burning cigar then, it sets him on fire a bit.
Yeah.
There may be some petrol in his pocket. Maybe a hip flask full of whiskey, throw it in the face, set it on fire. But you can do 2 damage and then push them away by getting the "Ah, my eye" trigger. How would you say it, Aaron? How would you say that trigger?
The first one?
Yeah.
Ah, my eye!
Cool. Answers on a postcard. Who does the best "Ah, my eye"?
Yeah.
Which I like.
Yeah.
But my favourite thing is he gets to make, with his "say hello to my little friend."
Say hello to my little friend.
I think you may have won that one.
Yes.
Trigger. He may immediately shoot them with the shotgun.
Yeah.
In melee.
Mm.
It's fucking amazing.
Yeah.
It's really, really good because you can set them on fire and then shoot them. Set them on fire some more, shoot them.
Yeah.
So you can get 4 attacks out of him in a turn. 3 if he stands still and just shoots. His blow it to hell marker is a 0. All of this, if he's got less than 4 wounds, he gets positive flips to attack and damage.
Mm.
Really good.
Yeah.
I really like it.
Yeah.
But I think he's maybe a touch overpriced at 9 soulstones.
Yeah, because of his survivability.
Yeah, maybe he'd be better at 8. Maybe you'd see a bit more of him kicking about.
Yeah.
Cool. I'm going to let you lead this one.
No.
In at number 4 then is Penelope.
Yeah.
Ulix's faithful totem for the gremlins.
Yeah.
Now, in the words of Byron from the Red Jokers podcast, give them a listen, they're very good. Mm-hmm. Penelope is amazing for her cost. Nice defense and attack, amazing pig synergy.
Yeah.
Never thought I'd say that. Never leave the farm without her.
No.
Do you agree?
Yes. If you are taking a pig army, you need your Piggy.
Your Piggy. Oh,
that
nice.
Almost works. Yeah, she's the gremlins and Malifaux's sheep herding dog or pig herding.
Pig herding, yeah, pig herder. Pig herder.
She's a peon, so obviously she's insignificant to cut drop ski marker and stuff, but you don't want to be doing that stuff with her anyway.
No.
She only costs 2, which is nice, again, because she's a peon.
She costs 2?
2.
2?
Yeah.
Okay, so I've played a few games against your pigs, and I assume she cost about 4.
Yeah.
That was my guess. Yeah. Because I don't look at what you're doing. I just trust that you're going to tell me the rules correctly.
Yes. Fair and probably
beat you regardless, like a red-headed stepchild.
Cheat better.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, her attack is 5, which is good for a peon.
For a 2-cost model, it's not bad. Does it do a lot of damage?
1, 2, 3, and it's only 1 inch.
Yeah.
But you can get critical hits on it.
Okay,
so you can add a bit more there, which, that's all.
Is that a critical strike trigger?
Strike,
but you're probably not, again, using her for biting?
No, what you'll be using her for is keeping your piggies in line.
Yes.
Because she's got pork whispering.
Yeah.
So, pigs in 8 inches of her can ignore the setter off, so won't randomly charge off.
Yeah.
She makes pigs walk further if they start within 6. Yeah, 6. They get +1 walk for the rest of their duration, as long as they start within 6 inches of her.
Yeah.
Which makes the pigs really get across the board really nicely, which works really well with From the Shadows.
Yeah. Oh, God,
Now, the boars have got From the Shadows. They normally without Penelope, that's almost pointless.
Because they're just going to
charge off. So unless you put them randomly away from each other so they won't go after each other, which that could be useful, but you are wasting a lot of points doing that.
You can get a little cluster of a couple pigs and her to keep them in line.
Yeah. And at that point, you can suddenly be doing stuff on the other end of the board very early on that's hassling your opponent.
Yes.
Or setting up 2 drop ski markers and stuff.
Yeah. I think the pigs always felt underpointed for me because they're unpredictable. So a little cheaper than maybe they would be if they didn't have that unpredictability.
Yes.
So she's mitigating that for a grand total of 2 soulstones.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
And she can actually herd them.
Yeah.
So she's got. There's a lot going on for a peon model that are very specific to pigs. Now, if you're not taking pigs, why are you playing Ulix?
Yeah, Ulix's thing is pigs. You're not going to have that many models that aren't pigs because he'd just be a bit bum.
But in that case, spend 2 soul stones on her because most of the upgrades, she's worth more than most of the upgrades in that respect.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's a very good doggo.
Very good doggo indeed. So we'll do our number 3.
Yeah.
And then we will break for another small interlude.
Yay!
And then we will give you the top 2. So, in at number 3, I feel like Top of the Pops. Do you remember Top of the Pops?
Yes.
Was everyone who hosted Top of the Pops a paedophile?
Might have been, actually.
Yeah.
Shit.
Cool. In at number 3 is Nix, Hamlin's totem. And we're seeing a little bit of a pattern here. The totems seem to be the models of choice for people.
Yes, yeah.
On Weird Place, Mark said Nix follows his master even in undeath, as did Patrick when he said Nix is objectively the best dog. Now, we can get into objectivism as much as we like. He says that Nix is loyal beyond death, no matter the consequences, which makes him sound like a good doggo and a bit of a bastard, which I quite like. And then Steve, also on Weird Place, said no simple doggo is immune to severe damage like Nix.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I've never played against Nix. I've never played against Hamlin. I know at one point he was considered ridiculously good.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's one of those summoners that's been a bit neutered. Neutered because of dogs, hey? Testicles. Who has... he's been kind of nerfed by sort of GG 2018 and a few little tweaks and stuff.
Yeah.
In the sense that summons aren't as powerful as they used to be.
Yeah.
But still good. Still good. Nix isn't actually a totem.
Okay.
I've classed him as a totem at the beginning because A, because I'm an idiot, but also B, because he kind of is totem. You'll see him with Hamlin or not at all, but Hamlin's totems are obviously the tiny children.
Yes.
Children. So he's actually an 8-point henchman.
Yeah,
an 8 soulstone henchman.
Really undersold, Nix.
Yeah, yeah. If an enemy model within an aura of 3 inches would deal severe damage, it deals moderate damage instead. That's any model attacking anything else within 3, as long as that model is within 3.
Yeah.
Does moderate instead of severe. And as far as I remember, that does downgrade the Red Joker.
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which...
Yeah.
Yeah. He only has 6 wounds, but he is incorporeal.
Mm-hmm.
He has all like the blighted abilities and the nihilism abilities that you would expect from a Hamlin model, so doesn't have to gain conditions, which is really, really horrible. He can give people a bleeding disease, which maybe is what you caught from that little yappy dog in Canada.
Quite possibly.
Did you bleed from the anus as a result of your savage attack?
Not from my anus.
No?
No. A little to the left. Yeah, a lot of condition playing with the blighted that is given from bleeding disease.
And lots of abilities that spin off blighted, such as stopping people interacting and all sorts of things. He's not particularly powerful in the sense of his sort of damage output or that kind of thing. But he can heal when models fail duels. Just any duel. Any duel near him, he'll just heal a point.
Yeah.
He's really good.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm really glad not to have fought against him.
Yeah, massively. I think actually 8 Soulstone seems quite reasonable for something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very good dog spirit. Obedient for
Ghosto. Yeah, good Ghosto. So yeah, that's Nix. I'm actually far more now that I looked at him earlier, but I'm glad I haven't played against Hamlin yet because there's lots of I don't know. It's just horrible little things like going, "Ha Red Joker." No.
Yeah.
I failed a duel. Cool. That thing you're trying to kill, it heals. The bleeding disease can be really, really nasty because there's lots of things that can spit out blighted. And that plague pit is horrible if you can get the blighted onto the models.
Yeah.
Because stopping interacts. There's lots of interact-heavy schemes and strategies these days.
There is, yeah.
So, yeah, that's Nix. We're not going to nix him.
No.
No, that's a really bad joke,
It
isn't
is
it?
a bad joke.
Okay.
We'll nix that.
So, before the podcast started, Aaron, I set you a challenge.
You did, yeah.
I asked you to list your top 3 fictional dogs.
Yes.
How many did you manage?
3.
3. I managed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 fictional dogs.
That's okay.
Of which I'm not sure. I'm finding it really hard to choose.
All doggos are good doggos.
All doggos are good doggos. Yeah, they are. So do you want to give me your number 3 in your list?
I think my number 3 is dog meat.
Dog meat's on my list. I can cross him off. Yay! So who or what is dog meat for the benefit of the uncultured?
Dog meat is a dog. Yeah. It's an Alsatian, I think.
Yeah, kind of a German shepherd.
Yes, yeah.
Philip Common.
That could be found in... We find it in Fallout 2. Find it here in Fallout 2.
Yeah, there's a dog called Dog Meat in almost all the Fallout games.
Yes.
Yes.
I don't think
it's kind of a tradition to have a dog called Dog Meat.
Yeah.
I think the idea, anyway, of a dog accompanying someone in a post-apocalyptic wasteland comes from one boy and his dog. Oh, no, the dog is called Blood.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
In it, Blood. Because it's a badass gangster dog.
Yeah.
With telepathy.
Yes. Now, Dog Meat doesn't have telepathy, which is why he's number 3.
No.
But he's been such a good doggo that he's appeared in as many Fallout games as
Yeah, I think it may be a sequence of dogs with the same name.
No.
No?
It's the same dog. It travels the wasteland looking for new owners.
Okay.
It's such a good dog that it needs to help
Some kind of irradiated immortal mega dog.
Yes.
Irradiated immortal mega dog should totally be the name of our 3rd album. Be a sequence. It'd be like a Wagnerian cycle of stories about this dog. Cool. Do you want to go? You go again, because then I can cross more stuff off.
All right, cool. Number 2 is Snitter.
What?
From Plague Dogs, which nobody will have seen.
Plague Dogs is based on the book by Richard Adams, the guy who wrote Watership Down.
Yes.
That was turned into a cartoon that was even more brutal than Watership Down.
And was animated by the same people who animated Watership Down.
And Watership Down is renowned, for those who don't know, is renowned as being the kind of film you show your children if you want them to grow up to be thieves and murderers.
Yeah.
Because it ruins everything. It's violent and bloody and horrible. Yeah. I read Watership Down before as a child before watching it. And it's a horrible, nasty book about little animals that can talk.
Yeah.
So is Snitter the hero, or is Snitter...
He's one of the... Yeah, he's a hero.
Okay.
But from the perspective of all the other characters, apart from... I can't remember the other dog's name now. Perspective of all the other characters is a bad dog.
Okay.
He's infected. They are test dogs
who have been infected with a plague, and they escape.
And all they're trying to do is just find somewhere safe. And so everybody's trying to hunt them down and kill them. And all Snitter wants is, because he has memories of having a master, and just wants to go back to a master who will look after him and keep him safe and warm. And there's a farmer they come across in the field who doesn't instantaneously shoot them, pulls the gun down upon seeing them, and calls Snitter over. And Snitter gets really happy and charges over, because it's a new master, somebody who actually might care for him and love him and not torture him like these other people have been doing.
Yeah.
And he leaps up and puts his paw onto the trigger of the shotgun and shoots the guy's hand and into his face. And he kills him. And it just destroys him.
Are you sure it's not a doppelganger using its own attack against it?
Maybe Snitter's not a good boy.
No. Okay.
But yeah.
I'm a bit sad.
John Hurt, so, you know.
Oh, nice.
A bit of class to it too.
Yeah. We talked about John Hurt in our last podcast about Snowpiercer.
Yes. He might become a fiend.
Yeah. We'll do a whole John Hurt podcast.
Yeah. But yeah.
Who hurt you, John Hurt? We could call it. Sorry. Yeah, that's good. Do your last one, and then we'll see.
This probably is another fairly predictable one, but Jake the dog from Adventure Time.
Oh, I didn't put Jake. Oh. I'll confess now, I've never watched a single episode of Adventure Time. The idea of adventure scares me. Yeah. I generally spend my weekends alone in my flat, under the table, with the blinds drawn.
Pretty sure there's an episode about that.
Oh, God.
I don't actually know. No, I don't watch that many. But, yeah, no.
What makes Jake the dog the best dog?
He's best friends with the last human on Earth.
Oh, so he's kind of a post-apocalyptic doggo
more in his dog kind of thing. And he's got magic powers.
Oh, nice.
So he can transform and change shape.
If you tell me he can shoot lasers out my eyes, we're ending the podcast here on a theme of circularity.
Nobody's girlfriend can.
The dog has a girlfriend?
Yeah, a unicorn dragon.
Fucking
Why have you not watched this?
Because nobody told me that it sounded so awesome. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just going to list off fictional dogs.
Cool.
In a kind of in a torrent of fairy animals. Yeah. So obviously I went with Scooby-Doo and Scrappy-Doo.
Oh, not Scrappy-Doo.
I like Scrappy-Doo.
No.
As a small angry man who spent a lot of his childhood getting into fights that he couldn't possibly win.
Yeah.
I feel a certain kinship with Scrappy-Doo. I also, much like Scrappy-Doo, was not appreciated in my own time. I then came up with a pair, kind of essentially the same thing, but slightly different. Lassie and the Littlest Hobo.
Yes.
Yeah. They're like that spate of travelling, helpful dogs.
Yeah.
That was a big thing for 5 years in the 80s, 70s. Lassie's earlier, isn't it?
Yeah, I think 50s possibly.
There were a lot of lassies, weren't there? Yeah, because
TV industry was horrible.
Doggos are too good for this world and have to leave us early. Oh, bless you.
I've got memories of an animated film that made me cry.
Yeah. I then went with a couple of animated dogs.
Yeah.
So Brian the dog.
Yes.
Family Guy.
Yeah.
But actually, I think that as the makers of Family Guy have gained money and success, they have drifted rightwards, and now Brian is the butt of the jokes rather than the everyman hero that he always was intended to be.
Yeah.
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 They've made him into a dick in the later series, haven't they?
Yes.
Yeah.
They have, yeah.
Because who's that guy? Seth
MacFarlane.
Seth MacFarlane's a bit of a douche now, isn't he?
Yeah, he's a huge bellend, yeah.
Yeah, cool. So, that I wouldn't have got that in my list, but I did think of him.
Yeah.
Another cartoon, two more cartoon dogs. Droopy the dog.
Okay.
The one that's really, really sad.
Yeah.
Yeah, Droopy. And Dogtanian.
I'd completely forgotten about Dogtanian.
All for one and one for all. Musker hounds are always ready. Loved that growing up. I watched it again about a year ago. I just typed it into YouTube.
Yeah.
It's a bit odd. The animation style makes it all kind of slightly weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going on YouTube to rewatch it probably tonight.
Yeah.
Well, I have nightmares. I'm going to rewatch it.
Yeah, it freaked me out. Maybe it was all the acid I was doing at the time. I don't know.
Yeah,
but
the Channel 4 cartoons, you did have to doze up on a lot of acid.
Yeah.
That and Sharky and George were weird.
And I've got... I also thought of Diefenbaker, the half-wolf, half-husky Aaron from the 90s TV show Due South. About a Canadian Mountie who heads to America to solve a crime with his faithful animal companion.
I only know of Due South. I've never actually seen an episode.
So you want a half wolf, half husky.
Yeah.
You want to move to Canada.
Yeah.
And you've never watched Due South.
I'm afraid it might spoil it for me.
Okay.
Doesn't he move out of Canada to go into America to sort of solve all their crimes for them?
Basically, yeah. He's like. Have you ever seen Walker Texas Ranger?
I've seen enough of it.
It's nothing like that.
Oh, good.
It's the opposite of that. That help?
Less kicking.
Yeah.
Cool.
And then my final two were literary dogs. Feel free to cut as much of this as you like, Aaron. So I went with Fluke from the novel Fluke by James Herbert, which I read when I was far too young. James Herbert, notorious as a horror writer.
Yeah.
Fluke is the heartwarming tale of a puppy that can... It thinks more than other puppies. It's kind of like a person, if you like. It's kind of its interior monologue, almost like its diary, but it can't write. But it outthinks the other puppies and the other dogs, and it's different. And it's different because it's about a man who died and was reincarnated as a puppy, and then his old family tried to adopt him, and then loads of bad shit happens.
Oh,
yeah. It just the thought of it makes me want to cry. So he remembers being a man, and he's looking for his family.
Yeah. Oh,
it's heartbreaking.
It's made me sad just hearing about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then finally, who I think is the best dog in all of fiction, Stephen King's Cujo.
I mean, he's very good at what he does.
Yes. He's a St. Bernard.
Yeah.
And we could have gone with any of the dogs from 101 Dalmatians. We could have gone with... What's the St. Bernard that had its own film series? Beethoven. We did. There's all sorts of dogs we could have gone with. When you told me you couldn't think of any fictional dogs earlier, mate, I was ahead of you. But Cujo is all about a mother and a child trapped in a car because there's a rabid St. Bernard trying to eat them just outside. It's good, isn't it? It's good.
I mean, if it was a Malifaux model, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, definitely. I just really like, according to Wikipedia, and I'm sure I've read this. Yeah, it's in Stephen King's On Writing. He says, "I barely remember writing Cujo." Where's that effect? It was written. It was written during a cocaine binge, and Stephen King basically says that he really likes the book and he wishes he could remember writing them down. Writing them down, sorry. So don't do coke, and
if you forget the good doggos, it's not
be a good doggo. Cool. That was slightly longer than I intended. Back to the popular poll. I'm trying to think of a popular Polish man.
Chopin.
Is he Polish?
Yes.
Oh, I thought of Robert Lewandowski, who obviously you know, Aaron.
Of course.
Yeah, good. Aren't you of Polish heritage?
I am, but I'm also very scared to learn too much about Polish heritage because I don't feel I deserve it.
Really?
Yeah, a little bit.
This is a completely different podcast, but go on.
Oh, it's a weird thing. It's like the reason I've sort of always been tentative and nervous about going to Ireland is because I don't know the heritage enough to feel like I deserve to go there because I don't know it. I feel like I should study it more, but I'm always too scared to. It's
the
weird.
best way to study something is to observe it yourself.
It is, yes. As a social scientist, I thoroughly believe that.
Yeah. But you can't obviously then interact with it because you'd be changing it, surely.
Yes.
Is that the observer effect?
Yes.
There we go. See, I can do your degree too. So, back to the poll. Luna comes in at number 2. Now, Luna was winning all the way through.
Yeah.
For most of the time that the polls were up.
For damn good reason.
For damn good reasons. And it was overtaken at the last minute by our number 1. David, on A Weird Place, says that Luna is the best at doing a Sith roleplay. And therefore wins the internet for a Dark Souls reference. Yeah. Because Luna is McCabe's totem. And McCabe can throw Luna a sword to hit people with.
Yeah.
Yay! Friend of podcast, Tom, said that Luna is the best doggo because she makes all the other doggos good, or at least significant. Because one of her abilities is that any guild hounds, normally they have to be in pairs to be significant. They can just be significant as long as Luna is on the battlefield. So as long as Luna's still alive, those dogs can run off independently and do schemy things rather than having to stay together, which makes them much more useful, much more flexible, much more interesting to use. And then our good friend Hugh from the Red Jokers, he says Luna is actually the best dog scientifically. Ooh. Okay, so a dog is a man's best friend.
Yes.
Yes. So Who are the two best men in the entirety of the universe? They're obviously Wolverine and Indiana Jones.
All right, yeah.
McCabe is Indiana Jones with Wolverine's haircut. Therefore, McCabe is the best possible man. Luna is the best possible man's best friend. Therefore, Luna must be the best possible dog.
Yeah, cool, sold. Oh, you've got to bother looking at the statistics because I don't need any more than that. Yeah.
Cool, moving on. I would have voted. I voted for some of the silly options.
I abstained, as a good researcher should.
Yes, I was never taught that. Therefore, I didn't bother. But Luna is very, very good. I have used her to good effect. Again, to make other dogs good.
Yeah, the fact that she can charge into combat and then not have to worry about being hit with somebody shooting is wonderful.
Yeah. Yes, yeah, all good. Can't be made slow. Charge 9 is mildly insane, and a walk 7 is also quite good. Now, she's a minion. She's not insignificant, so she can use that walk 7 and that charge 9 to get her into really, really distant places and do all sorts of good things. She does 2, 3, 4 damage, the melee of 5, with critical strike, so maybe 3, 4, 5 if you're lucky, which is okay. She can bark, so she can use a 0 to discard a card and give a friendly model that's nearby defensive. Not something I've really used too much, but quite useful. But as a companion, she can activate straight after something, so that's useful too. Yeah. She only costs 4 soul stones, mate. That's 4 soul stones. And has a mighty 6 wounds.
Yeah.
Which actually isn't bad, especially considering McCabe can hand out healing and things like that.
Yeah.
She's a very, very good dog.
Yes.
And I like the model. Is she a bloodhound?
I believe so. I'm not very good with those.
Yes, she is a bloodhound. And if you hire the other dogs, she obviously comes with a gang.
Of course, yeah.
And then they can sing some comedy rock hits together. That was number 2 then.
Yeah.
So, in at number 1, my best.
That would be something completely different.
That's the Pearl and Dean advert from the beginning of the cinema.
But that's before the show comes on, which is the number 1 thing you've been there for, not all the trailers. So I'm sticking with it.
What's your favourite number 1 single, Aaron? Your face!
for podcasts.
You just looked horrified.
I genuinely have no idea it's ever been a number 1 ever.
No, that's why I asked you, because I thought it'd be funny forgetting that podcast is a visual medium. Not a visual medium.
Yeah. You keep playing me songs that I have no idea about.
Yeah.
So, having any concept of what a number 1 is even more baffling to me.
It's all right, mate. It's not your fault you were raised by wolves.
I wish.
I hope this podcast hasn't brought any terrible memories back. So in at number 1, the best doggo in all of Malifaux is...
Zombie Chihuahua.
Yes!
Rigged!
Are you trying to suggest there's some kind of powerful undead Chihuahua lobby out there that have fixed this election?
Yes.
Okay.
It's
talk me through it.
Undead.
Is it because jet fuel can't melt steel beams? Oh yes. I've been on the internet.
Okay, no, I should. The Zombie Chihuahua is a good model in game.
Yeah.
If you're not playing against it.
Yes.
It's fair. I would have much preferred Luna win.
So, Luna is a good dog. A zombie Chihuahua is first of all, a Chihuahua is barely a dog.
Yeah.
And no offence to you if you've got a Chihuahua.
There's nothing wrong keeping pet rats.
I like pet rats.
Yeah, so do I.
Yeah.
It was genuine. That was from the heart.
But there was in context, Aaron, it was maybe not quite as nice as you say. So as Mike on Weird Place said, the reason that the zombie chihuahua is the best is because of its poison and its trembling. Because what is wrong with chihuahuas? They just vibrate. They just kind of hum.
Yeah.
They're just like, I don't know, they're just...
Crossbred with bees.
That's why they're so small.
Yeah.
Ironically, they all have hay fever.
Oh.
Otherwise, there'd be chihuahua honey everywhere. I've just thought that through. My friend used to have a chihuahua, and it had a really big, because they have like the top of their head is like built for a dog that's twice their size, and then they've got really small.
That's kind of weird Frankenstein brain surgery.
Yeah, they're hydrocephalitic. Yeah, enlarged skulls.
Oh,
yeah.
New words.
Yeah, it's good.
Learning.
It's good, isn't it? And yeah, they have these huge heads, and they used to have a dog. And me and my friend used to refer to their pet dog as the quivering brain dog. And we were convinced that one day it would rule the world.
I always used to think that Chihuahuas were Brain from Pinky and the Brain.
Yeah, I think he's a mouse.
He's a mouse.
Yeah, but he's a mouse that looks a bit like a chihuahua because of his enormous head. Yeah. Cool.
So, freakish dog stories aside.
Yeah. Did you know that the top of their heads actually floats? Because it's so big and there's not a lot in there. But because their face is so low down, they still drown.
It's horrible. I kind of hope that's true.
No, mate, I made it up. Don't know if you want to keep it or not. No, I made it up. Sometimes it's hard to find the tone. So, the zombie chihuahua, McMorning's totem, costs 2. So, all of this that it can do, bear in mind it only costs 2 soul stones. Yeah. 2 measly soul stones. Or, as I like to think of it, 2/5 of Dreamer's summoning upgrade. Because that's how I measure everything these days.
Yeah.
So, Mark, a Weird Place, says it's an annoying little bugger that farts out poison.
Yeah.
And he says he usually uses it as a tag team with Rafkin. Because Rafkin can charge for 1 AP against models that are poisoned.
Yeah.
And our resident Colin uses the zombie chihuahua and Rafkin, which I really regret buying for him as a present because he murders me with him, and he should be more grateful. He uses it all the time. It's got fairly crappy stats: 4 wounds, 4 defense, 4 willpower, walk 5, charge 7. It's height 1 because it's a chihuahua. It's a companion and it's insignificant. All fairly standard. The most annoying thing it does, as far as I'm concerned, if you want to inflict poison on something, you normally have to hit them.
Yeah.
You normally have to damage them or use some kind of ability to give them the condition.
Yep.
This chihuahua smells so bad, its odour is so horrific. At the end of its activation, it may make all models within 2 inches gain poison. Not just poison 1, Aaron.
No.
Poison 2.
Which is ridiculous.
It exists within a crew whose whole thing is poison, that has models that heal if they're poisoned, it has models that ignore poison and can pass it on.
Yeah.
And it has, and this is where it gets really annoying.
Yeah.
McMorning's big thing, or one of his big things, is that he expunges you. Poison's quite a slow death, and actually you could have poison 46, but it only does 1 damage at the end of each turn and ticks down by 1.
Yeah.
It goes 45, 44. You only play a 5-round game.
Yeah.
So actually, you've got poison 10, at some point it's not really worth putting more poison in.
Yeah.
Unless you expunge the poison, which immediately does damage equal to the amount of poison that you have and then clears it, a bit like burning does at the end of the turn.
Only up to a maximum of 9.
Up to a maximum of 9, yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Most things can't take 9 damage.
No.
Your big heavy beaters and your masters might, but most things can't take 9 damage. And it's mildly upsetting anyway.
And it's got one other annoyance.
Well, it can expunge.
Yeah.
This is the silly thing, is that that's really horrible. For 2 soul stones, you've got another model that can expunge. Now, it needs a 9 to do it.
Yeah.
But that's horrible.
Mm-hmm.
That's really horrible.
Yeah. And for a measly 4 and 1 AP, it can also make any model that's immune to poison susceptible to it.
Yes. It then dies. It's sacrificed afterwards. So it dies, but for 2 soul stones, you have removed the immunity to poison from something.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to probably at that point be in completely the wrong position and really susceptible to getting itself poisoned and expunged because it's not expecting it.
Yep.
Which is incredibly shitty.
Yeah.
Now, it does have annoying yapping teeth.
Yeah.
I love its damage track. 001.
Yeah.
We said a 1, 2, 3 wasn't very good earlier. 001.
Yeah.
But it does, again, inflict poison +1.
Mm-hmm.
In theory, it can get a model up to poison 4. Now, it has to hit with the annoying yappy teeth. It's only melee 2.
Yeah.
But if you can make an opponent cheat a card in against a melee 2 that does 001 because they don't want to get poisoned, well, that's a win for you.
Yeah.
If you can, flip something high. But it's that poison 2, the models just get it. You don't have to hit. There's no duel. They just gain the poison condition.
Yeah.
It's really horrible. Yeah. It's really, really horrible to just inflict. So, anything to add to that?
Well, there is one other minor annoyance with the zombie chihuahua.
Yes.
Now, the other models we've discussed are fairly typical Malifaux fare, sometimes a bit fiddly.
As in the models themselves,
yes,
the physical representation of said character, not its stats. Or
no, the actual physical thing.
Yeah.
Putting them together, normally a little bit fiddly, but they're normally reasonably sized enough. I'm fairly sure Penelope came in 2 parts, slotted it together, glued it, done.
Yeah.
Probably the simplest model I've ever done.
Yeah.
For Malifaux, at least. Not true for the zombie chihuahua, though. It makes you work for all those bonuses you get.
Yeah.
How many pieces was it?
It grows in the telling. 27. Why not?
27 seems perfectly reasonable.
I think it's 4 or 5 pieces, but it is the smallest model.
Yeah.
I think it may be the smallest model in Malifaux. It's smaller than Daydreams. It's smaller than Baby Cade.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it may genuinely be the smallest model. And it is a giant head and very small spindly legs, some of which are separate pieces.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's actually insane.
Yeah.
And if you ever introduce a friend to Malifaux who's not an experienced hobbyist, do not let them buy the McMorning box and assemble it themselves as their first ever box of models or box of Malifaux models, because they won't come back.
No.
And they will make you choke to death. Not on the Chihuahua, because you just swallow it and not notice, but on the bigger models within said box. You don't want to end up with a flesh construct lodged in your throat.
Oh, no.
As my grandfather told my father told me, when I was but knee-high to a tiny man.
You don't want to put fleshy constructs in your mouth.
Yes. Very homophobic in the old days.
Yeah, a little bit, yeah.
So, that has been our Best Dog in Malifaux episode, courtesy of us, the Critical Twits. If you have enjoyed this and found it at all informative or amusing, which are the only 2 things we ever aspire to be, please like, share, subscribe, send us some fan mail at criticaltwits@gmail.com.
Oh, yeah.
Or if you want to just write to me, brian@criticaltwits.com, you can just write directly to me, it's fine. Ignore Aaron.
Yeah, it's fine. Draw me some art. I want art.
You want art?
Yeah. I was watching videos the other day, and they keep getting people send them pictures of them.
Okay.
Drawn.
Cool.
And I know Colin's done it, and Jamie's done it for us, and they're wonderful artists, and I'm not going to dismiss them, but I want fan art.
Yeah, if it's really good fan art, we'll use it on the channel and replace those chumps.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. So we're going to do sort of a Malifaux episode a month.
Yeah.
Roughly, maybe a little bit more, maybe a little bit less, depending on schedules. But we're not going to do your typical, this is the best thing to play at the moment, and this is the state of the meta, and this is how you tournament. There's lots of people who do that. Aaron is not at all interested. I don't mind a bit of that. And you'll notice I'm the one saying, oh, this model is considered competitive, oh, this model is not, whereas Aaron just kind of does fuck off gestures at me while I say such things.
Yeah.
But hopefully we can find something that's interesting, fun, and a little bit different about Malifaux to talk to you about. So if you have any suggestions on things you'd like to see, pop them in the comments or write to us at the address. And hopefully we'll see you again next time. Do we have any more last-minute dog-related stories just to really mess with the concept of a neat ending?
There was this lassie, I don't know what breed lassie is, like dog, that I used to see in my local park.
Okay.
As a child a lot. Lived on the park, sort of on the gardens attached to it.
Okay.
We used to come out for walks there. Used to get lots of cuddles from her. Really friendly dog, really liked her. She was in a garden one day, wagging her tail up to the fence sort of thing, so I went over, because the owners knew me, so it was okay, to give her a cuddle. She leant up against the fence, I was giving her a cuddle, and then she just turned around and pissed right up my leg. No one was wearing combats at that day, so all like a nice shiny patch of piss all down my leg about 9 o'clock in the morning, just before I was supposed to go to school.
We've been the Critical Twits. Bye!